In the beginning, before time itself had meaning, there was only the vast, formless void. Darkness stretched endlessly, silent and deep. Yet within this emptiness, the breath of God stirred, a divine power, a force beyond understanding. And from this holy presence came light, the very first light, separating day from night, bringing order to chaos. God, the Creator, spoke, and His words shaped the universe. The heavens above, the earth below, the seas, the stars, all came into being by His command. The earth was lush and teeming with life, filled with plants of every kind, animals great and small. Among all these creations, God planned something very special, something unique, a being made in His own image. Being was Adam. God formed Adam from the dust of the ground, carefully shaping him, breathing life into his nostrils. Adam awoke in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with vibrant trees, sweet fruits, and crystal-clear rivers flowing gently through the land. The garden was perfect, a place of peace and harmony. God placed Adam there to tend and care for. The garden, to walk with Him in fellowship. But God saw that Adam was alone, and loneliness is a heavy burden. So from Adam's side, God created Eve, a companion, a helper, a partner. She was formed with the same care and love, a reflection of Adam's own being, made for union and harmony. Adam and Eve lived in perfect innocence. They knew no shame, no fear. They walked freely in the garden, in close relationship with God and with each other. Their hearts were pure and their spirits unburdened. Yet, at the center of this paradise stood one tree, unlike the others, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God commanded Adam and Eve, "You may eat freely of every tree in the garden, but of this tree you shall not eat, for on the day you eat from it, you shall surely die." This command was clear, a test of trust and obedience. For a time, Adam and Eve obeyed, but outside the garden, in the shadowed places, there lurked a cunning serpent, more crafty than any other beast of the field. The serpent watched the humans closely, and his heart was filled with deceit. One day, the serpent approached Eve and spoke to her with words that twisted truth and planted doubt. Did God really say, "You shall not eat of any tree in the garden"? The serpent asked, his voice smooth and sly. Eve answered, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but of the fruit of the tree in the middle, God said, 'You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die.'" The serpent smiled and whispered, "You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the tree. The fruit was beautiful and tempting, shining with a bright allure. She was curious, and the serpent's words stirred something deep inside her, a desire for wisdom, for knowledge, for power. She reached out and took the fruit. She ate it. Then she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate as well. At that moment, everything changed. Their eyes were opened, just as the serpent had said. But with that knowledge came a new burden: shame, fear, guilt. Suddenly, they realized they were naked. The innocence they once enjoyed was lost. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves and hid among the trees. Afraid, when God walked in the garden in the cool of the day, Adam and Eve hid themselves. God called to Adam, "Where are you?" Adam answered, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate it." And Eve said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." God's heart was heavy with sorrow. The perfect harmony of creation had been broken by disobedience. The consequences were grave. To the serpent, God said, Because you have done this, you are cursed above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. To Eve, God said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam, God said, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Then God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve to clothe them, a sign that innocence was lost, but care and provision remained. Because of their disobedience, Adam and Eve were banished from the Garden of Eden, shut out from the tree of life. God placed cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the way back to paradise. Life outside. The garden was harsh and filled with toil and struggle. Adam and Eve had children, Cain and Abel, and through their descendants, the human story began to unfold, full of both great blessings and deep sorrows. Yet even in this fall, God's plan of redemption had begun. Though man had turned away, God did not abandon his creation. He promised a future Savior, one who would crush the power of sin and restore the broken relationship between God and man.